We're Hannah and Allie, and trust us, we're not your parents' financial advisors. We're your personal wealth strategists.
We're here to bring you the new, real strategic approach to building wealth that's as ambitious as you are.
Every week, we're diving into everything from investing your money and scaling your business to creating freedom and making your money work for you.
We'll share real-life stories of women scaling their business and their net worth to 7 figures and beyond.
If you're ready to live a life where you have the financial freedom to do what you want, when you want, with whoever you want, without any limitations, then you are in the right place.
This is the New Money Podcast.
Hannah, as two 28-year-old women, I feel like there's not a lot of times where we go through firsts again.
You're right.
Like you've had your first kiss, you've driven your first car, all those things. But let's tell the people what we did yesterday after our work day.
When we got in the car and we went to the bank.
We went to the bank, yeah.
We got like business partner married on paper, officially walked into the bank holding hands to open our first bank.
We signed. We signed everything, our operating agreements. We went to the bank. It's done. It's a done deal.
So it's official. And I think a handshake. We have not done that yet. Now it's official. I think what's going to be so fun to talk about today is how this business partnership came to be, because it really is such a wild story and a testament to both of our faiths and just like knowing that there's such a thing as God's perfect timing to bring the perfect person into your life. We really do feel like we're work wives especially after this trip. That's all we keep talking about.
I found my work wife. Can you give me just like a snapshot of where you were maybe a week before we met and a week after we met?
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's think back in my brain. So before we met, I was really, excited because I have this big mission on my heart, right? To move on from the corporate financial world and serve all these incredible female entrepreneurs that I'd been looking up to for months and months and months, and just seeing them having success and aligning their life and raising their kids and doing work that they really loved. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, there's got to be a way that I can serve them, but this is such a big mission. How in the heck can I pull this off by myself? And I want to get into the story of how we met today, but then the week after we met, I felt this huge weight lifted. And I went from just feeling like nervous of how can I do this by myself to excited, saying now I've met the person, like my life can finally begin and we can do this together. And it was really all because of you. I feel like a new woman, and we have so much to share about how we met. It's a crazy story.
I think like timing is crazy, right? Like the week before I met you, I had made the decision to leave my job, which meant turning down an offer to be a junior partner.
That's huge.
And I felt just an overwhelming sense of calm with the decision. I feel like when it's from God, it comes with peace and confirmation.
Ooh,
and when it's not, it comes with a lot of confusion. And I had no doubt in my mind that the vision that I wanted to create for wealth management was not where I was at currently, even though it offered a lot of stability and comfort and all those things.
Right. And what I definitely want to touch on is the fact that you'd made the decision to leave your job in wealth management, but you weren't ready to leave wealth management. So what were your thoughts about where you were headed?
So I knew that I was going to keep it in my life. And I knew there was a big mission around supporting women who are honestly kind of like me.
Yeah.
They have a bigger mission on their heart. They don't like the traditional way of doing things. And they, those people that are bugged about something, but they're not just going to complain. They're going to do something about it.
Yeah.
When I met you, I felt like that's something we had in common.
For sure. We feel like a little bit of rebels in the space because we open up this podcast saying, you don't really find a lot of women that are in their 20s that have had successful careers already as financial advisors. And can we just say for a second how, I kind of want to brag on us for a minute, because it is hard to be in this career and being somebody that people older than you, people more successful financially than you, look to you for advice about what to do with their money, something they hold so close to them.
Yes.
And I know we both have experienced people coming to us and being like, oh, you're so young. That has irked me my entire career, but saying, oh, you're so young, or oh, it's so cute, or things like, I wish you the best of luck. And what we've done is really actually put our heads down and get the specialized knowledge and the experience of working with hundreds of millions of dollars with hundreds of clients. And we know our stuff. We know that. But it's just so rare for us to still be in this space because of how much I can assume other women have been knocked down and that would really defeat them. But we're over here saying, we're going to be the rebels and we're going to break this last ceiling.
And I have to tell you, that wasn't always the case for me. I had periods of my career, 6 years in private wealth management, where I felt like I was starting to believe what other people were telling me. I felt, I don't know, is finance for me? I really feel like this humanitarian calling on my life.
Yeah.
And I wasn't feeling it. It was all about production and assets under management. And that's the way you grow. You keep climbing the ladder. And this incredible woman, her name's Anita, which is also my grandmother's name, by the way.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Very, very special to my heart.
Oh
Her name is
my
Anita.
gosh.
So I felt comfort. She had sent me a LinkedIn DM and said, hey, I just want to chat with you for a moment about your experience in wealth management as a female. Nobody had ever asked me any questions about what it was like to be a woman in the industry.
Yeah.
Nobody had asked me questions about my future and where I saw it going. And fast forward a couple years, Anita was the one who gave me the confidence to, one, find the passion in my heart for wealth management in this humanitarian way that you and I both share.
Right.
And she introduced me to you.
That is where the story takes a wild turn because Allie and I shared this business mentor, Anita, for 2 years. But she didn't work for either of the companies that we worked for. She worked as an outside coach, consultant, to other female advisors because the passion on her heart is to help more women actually stay in the industry and see how they can actually have this lasting change on helping other women build wealth. And so Anita, she's coaching us both on, her own time and decides to finally connect us after 2 years after, she'd known that I had left and she knew that you were ready to leave and said, you guys need to chat. So we got on Zoom and I've never been one to watch one of those shows like 90 Day Fiance or like Love at First Sight or Married at First Sight. But I know that's how you feel and that's how I felt. And that's exactly what happened and how we're sitting here in this beautiful studio today.
It was wild. I'm thinking back to like those first Zoom meetings. I have this picture in my head of me sitting outside of a coffee shop. Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I do.
I'm just like, hey, sorry, is it loud in here? Like, can we just talk about I think I prepared a business proposal for you.
You
remember
did.
that? And I
you
was
guys,
like,
it was the most prettiest proposal you've ever seen on Canva. We're probably going to sell the template.
literally though, you had all the templates. You were like, this is exactly what I would have done for this meeting.
Yes.
I wanted to show you though that I really believed in what you were creating because you had opened the doors of the Wealth Collaborative at that point. You had clients.
Right.
You were getting this mission off of your heart and into the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to take her as seriously if you were, the Merrill Lynch of the world, because you will be one day.
Oh, we will be one
And
day.
I'm going to take this opportunity just as serious as that.
Yeah. So what happened was we got on Zoom and I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, she's adorable. How have we not met before? We kind of went both down our family stories and just a little bit about each other. And I remember asking you, because you said, I actually have already decided to put in my 2 weeks. I'm actually getting on a call with Anita after this to get some coaching around how to actually do it.
Our call was, I think, 2 days before I quit.
It was.
And it was just weird timing.
It was wild timing. Yeah. And can I call you out for a second?
Yes, please.
You didn't reply to my initial email for 2 weeks.
I'm so sorry. I was
Just kidding.
Call
But I
me
was
out.
like, oh, well, I think she's ghosting me. But we finally did obviously get on Zoom, and that timing meant a lot. And there's
Yeah.
always, a reason behind the timing, but that timing meant so much. And I got off Zoom, and I think it was like right at the end of my day. And so I remember my husband walking through the door, and I told him all about the call. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. Like, I'm so excited for her and all these things. And then I try to go to sleep that night. And I lay my head on the pillow. And my husband and I have been together for 12 years. So I don't
Yeah.
really know what butterflies, when you meet someone for the first time,
The
feel
spark.
like the spark.
Yes.
Let's not get it wrong. He still gives me butterflies, but the spark, I'm like, ooh, why can't I stop thinking about her? Like laying down, trying to go to sleep. My mind is racing. I'm saying prayers at night. And I'm like, I need to be able to, know what does this mean? I'm obviously having feelings that Allie needs to be in my life in some way. And I think I sent you a voice memo text the next morning
Oh, yeah.
that basically sounded something like, hey, Allie, it's Hannah. I can't stop thinking about you.
I was so glad you said that though, because you took the words out of my mouth. Like to feel you're just on the same page with someone so effortlessly is something that is rare.
Yeah.
And for me, after that call, I was almost like holding these feelings hostage. I was like, I can't tell anyone about this because I don't want it to not come true. I'm nervous.
Aww.
And we hadn't like really shared our feelings yet. It
Yeah.
was just like, this is fun. Like maybe let's try 90 Day Fiance.
Yes.
But my counsel in my life, they're like, oh, okay, you met someone. Like, make sure you we're like financial people.
Oh, yeah.
We cross our T's, dot our I's.
Mhm.
Make sure you checked this out, checked that out. And in my mind, I'd already made up my mind. I was like, I don't care what they say. We're doing this.
I will never forget the same thing, telling the people closest to me. And because we decided to enter into a partnership, I felt like I was getting hit with all the same questions, like when you find the one before you get engaged. Like,
Yeah.
did you, look at this? Did you ask her this? And I was like, you guys, there's just something here. We can just feel it. And I know now what that is. And that is we both share this insane passion for what we do. Obviously, we love, we're numbers girlies. Like we know how to strategize. That's how our brain works. So we love what we do. But more than that, we really love helping other women have the most incredible lives where they have this harmonious, working relationship between their work and their passions and their family life, and their money supports that. And they don't feel like they're held back from anything. And so the second we aligned on that, that's when we said, we have to take this to the next level.
I think actions speak louder than words. Like we can say that all day, but the way that I knew that your words align with your actions was before we had made the decision to partner together, you were going to do anything in your power to make sure I was secure at this next step.
Yeah.
You were like, okay, this woman might be my competitor, but if you want to open your own firm, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. You were like, you can do this. I did this. You can do this. And I was like, that is so selfless of her. And
I just,
we actually haven't talked about this before, but that was a moment for me where you just showed me your selfless heart in what you're doing. And I think there's so many moments for us now where we meet with clients and we want that for them.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're going to blow you up on our social media. Like, even if you don't work with us, we meet so many people now where we can support and they support us. And it's just this beautiful, happy, non-toxic, amazing environment.
Can we just talk about it? And that is how it should be when women are out there killing it, the whole women supporting women. And there's not enough women in this financial space that are able to provide that level of support to all these women out there becoming female entrepreneurs, taking the big risks, leaving their corporate job, like trying to still support their families and balance motherhood and being a friend and all these other, big components of our lives. And what I loved about you was just knowing how you put it as like humanitarian you are. You really care about putting people first. And that's the opposite experience a lot of people are getting with the traditional financial advising space is it's putting the numbers and the data first and putting kind of a self-serving motive behind, the advice that you're getting. We really don't take that approach. And that's where I knew I had to lock this girl in. Because like she said, she could go on to be my competitor and I would cheer you on. But I knew that doing it together, it would just become this unstoppable force. And the impact we could have would be a million times greater than we could ever do by ourselves.
And I will say too, you met me, you had made the decision, and you asked me to come in as a partner, co-founder, co-CEO. And I just don't think that experience would have been the same with a man. I think he would have asked me to come in as a vice president or something like that, where I would have had to, get in the same cycle of working up the corporate ladder. That's exactly what was going to happen to me. I was going to be junior partner and I was always going to be underneath. And you were like, I value your skills and expertise just as much as my own. We're going to kill this together.
Yeah.
And that right there is like worlds different from my past experiences.
Yeah. It's so true.
Yeah.
I just feel like wrapping this up by saying, I truly love this girl. And I don't know that anybody else knows this, but it's been a really short amount of time since this has all happened. And I think we cannot downplay how much God played a role in this is where the tears are going to come out.
God winks. All day.
The amount of God winks that came from this story developing over the last 7 years of our career, the amount of times that we wanted to quit, the amount of times that I kept pounding on doors because that's what my mentors told me to do when I was like building my first book of business through COVID, having people literally shoo me away because it was March 17th, 2020. They're like, get off my doorstep and just be questioning, like, what am I doing here? And for God just to lead both of us through this journey to say, there's a reason that you are holding on. There's a reason that you are fighting for this. There's a reason you're pushing through. And now we're sitting here in our breakthrough moment, recording the New Money podcast and getting ready to go back and kick off 2025 with a company that we are so proud of and a business partnership that is like totally built to last a lifetime.
You're going to be my friend for life. You're going to be my business partner for life. But that's something I've been realizing is like something I said in the car was, I'm not going to remember life before Hannah.
You did say that to me.
I'm not going to.
It's like having a baby.
It's hard to even now remember life before you. And we've only been business partners for just a couple of months. Like time is going to start flying. We're going to continue to make memories. We're going to build our business where today is going to be just a snapshot in time. But I never want to forget what we were founded on.
Yeah.
And it was this deeper mission to serve other people.
Yeah.
It was honestly pushing a plan that's much bigger than us. Mm-hmm. And we have God with us the whole way.
Literally. And I can see it now. Cover of Forbes. Hannah and Allie. The disruptor.
40 under 40?
Yeah, 40 under 40. 30 under 30?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Why not?
We've already been crushing all these goals we're setting. So I have no doubt that we're just ready to take this to the next level. But this was by far the most favorite thing that we've ever done is just get to sit down and talk about how grateful we are to be here and how excited we are for what's to come. So,
Love you, partner.
love you, partner.